Hi folks. In this session, we're going to learn how to handle missing values or empty values in certain data sets. Many times, it may be due to errors or it might be intentional. Certain errors, certain columns for certain records, essentially is empty or null. So basically, it doesn't have any value in it. Um, when this happens, Pandas provide a built-in method isNow and another method called notnull to help us quickly locate those records. So we can use those two methods to quickly find the records with missing values. So let's go to the VS Code and practice with isNow and notnull to see how we can use those methods to quickly locate those records. Continue with our trial balance example earlier. Remember last time we used the read Excel method to create this data frame. And then when we print this data frame, the trial balance looks like this. And if you look at the credit side of the balance, those accounts, because they are asset balances, those credit basically don't have any value, right? So the NaN here is essentially telling us this is the null value. And then with this, we can use the isNow and notnull method to basically quickly find out the accounts with debit only balances and also to quickly find the accounts with credit only balances. With this, let's start coding. I will first create a new variable called asset accounts. And for this asset accounts, we're going to filter a df by essentially by the debit side of the balance. But this df I want to be now. So meaning it has values on the debit side. So with this, I essentially put all those asset balances, asset accounts within these variables. Similarly, I can create a liability and equity accounts, essentially using credit balance now. But instead, this time, I can still use debit USD balance. And instead of using now, I could use a different method isNow. So if the debit side is now, that means it has credit side balances. So that would be a liability and equity accounts. So with this, all I need to do is to print asset accounts, and then basically print asset accounts here, and then print liability and equity accounts, and print liability and equity accounts here. With this, let's run our program to see whether it can separately print out asset accounts and then separately print out liability and equity accounts. Let's run our program. And see the liability accounts are all identified here. And the debit accounts are all identified here. And you see, there is one thing it didn't do right, because when we said the asset accounts, it's debit USD now. So the total row, the total records here, the debit asset is also now, right? So with this, we also include the total row. And remember last time how we exclude the total row? We essentially add a condition here, saying and if account is not equal to total. So we can do this here as well, right? So essentially, I just copied that over to the asset accounts. So what this does is it pulling all the records for the debit USD, not empty value, not now, and then also the account shouldn't equal to the total row. So we exclude that total records. So with this, let's run our program again. Now you see my asset accounts is essentially purely the asset side of accounts. Same thing, the liability accounts, and equity accounts are simply the liabilities and the capital stock. So this is how we quickly locate those separated asset side of the balance sheet from the liability and equity side of the balance sheet using the is now and not now method. Thank you very much.